My first Mass Effect 3 playthrough was with a save file that I had been using since the original Mass Effect. My original Shepard was modeled after me, and she was slightly renegade, but mostly Paragon. In the first one, I romanced Kaidan. In the second one, I romanced Garrus. In the third one, I planned to romance Garrus. But I made this pact with myself. I wasn't ever going to reload a save. Like, unless I died, which reloads the save automatically. But I wasn't going to reload for, like, silly story-based things. So I was stuck with what I picked. So how did I feel about the alternate ending? I don't know. I wasn't upset with the original ending. I was in the very small camp of people who thought they did a good job with the original ending. And this is where the spoilers are going to come in, so if you haven't played through till the end, I'd recommend waiting to watch the rest of the video. But the original ending was fine. You know, Shepard dies, which is, if you didn't expect that from the get-go, then, I don't know, maybe it's just because I read a lot of really fucked up fiction, but that's something, cars. Sometimes your main character has to die in the end. It's what seals the deal. And in these hero sagas, that's what has to happen. Superman's gotta die. Batman's gotta die. You know, the sacrifice is what makes them heroic. And so Shepard had to die. And that didn't bother me. It made me sad. I cried like a baby the first time I played it. I cried straight from landing in London, straight through until the credits, and probably through most of the credits also. But it was still satisfying. You know, I felt like everything that I had done up until that point was leading to that moment. Having Edie talk about the world after and what happens, it's okay. That's how I felt about it, I guess. It was like, well, when Tash asked me what I thought, my response was, it was alright. You know, it just was alright. It didn't add anything, it didn't take anything away. I don't really think that the people who were complaining were expecting that. I think they just wanted a happy ending, but that's just me. So, it was nice to have a little extra, but I didn't feel like it was necessary to begin with, so I wasn't really that interested, to tell you the truth. But playing through for the second time, all those things, you know, the dialogue and the character building, and I mean, they just nail everything. Commander Shepard is such an amazing character, and I want to keep revisiting her world. Jennifer Hale is so good. She's so good. She's so gritty. And Femme Shep is so sassy and commanding, and she's a great character. And then we gotta stop and talk a sec about Brandon Keener, because he's incredible. Without Garrus Vakarian, that game would not be nearly as entertaining or awesome as it is. It's like, when you play video games, you can always kind of tell, even when you have big names that come in and do some of the voice acting, that people aren't giving it their 100%. Or that, like, it's maybe not as important a gig as, you know, being on in a blockbuster movie, or being on some sort of, you know, successful sitcom or something like that. Like, you know, I always feel like there's about 70% effort put into video game voice acting. And Brandon Keener puts in that 110, and you're like, Garrus is a real character. He's the most real and the most developed of all of the characters in the game next to Shepard. He's just incredible. And a giant bird monster man was appealing because of how well acted he was. Garrus Vakarian, best video game companion probably ever in the world. Just saying. So that's my thoughts on Mass Effect 3. I loved it. Again, and will continue to love it because it's an awesome game. I just realized yesterday that Miranda Lawson is Dexter's new girlfriend, Hannah McKay, on Dexter.